The San Pedro Waterfront is undergoing a massive $500 million redevelopment. By 2026, West Harbor will open as a 42-acre destination. The incoming tenants, a mix of celebrated restaurants, breweries, and entertainment venues, have a very strict deadline. Before those physical doors open, they have to secure digital attention and earn the trust of the local community. To generate actual foot traffic and deep brand loyalty, the modern standard is the video podcast. A long-form conversation allows a business owner to demonstrate expertise and share their story in a way that short text posts simply cannot match. This creates a brutal tug-of-war for a founder. Social media algorithms demand constant, high-volume output, but as a premium brand, every piece of content has to prove you are an authentic, high-quality human being worth doing business with. If you book a traditional commercial studio, you get that high-trust polish, but it crushes operational budgets. You pay around $150 an hour just for the room, and then you have to hire a camera operator, an audio engineer, and pay massive post-production cleanup costs. The alternative is a DIY smartphone setup and a spare office. You save money, but the echoey audio and bad lighting actively signal low quality to the viewer, which damages the reputation of a high-end restaurant or retailer. Time-poor local founders are currently stuck. They have to choose between bankrupting their marketing budget or cheapening their life's work with a webcam. There is a highly seductive alternative, heavily marketed to founders right now: generative AI avatars. These tools promise infinite scale and endless video output, all without you ever having to leave your house. This chart shows video production pricing over time. High-fidelity AI charges linearly for compute power, roughly $30 per generated minute, but you rarely get perfect results immediately. Every prompt refinement, glitch, and re-roll acts like a slot machine, rapidly burning through your credit balance. If you want to create a 50-minute cornerstone sales asset or a deep-dive podcast episode, high-fidelity AI can cost up to $1,500 just in computing power alone. The idea that AI video is free is a dangerous financial myth. The pricing model aggressively penalizes founders who need to create the long-form, trust-building content necessary to close high-ticket sales. Consider the first business archetype, the high-end plater. Glassbox is bringing a premium 15-course omakase experience to West Harbor, which sets a very specific standard for visual demand. If the chef tries to talk about their intricate sashimi sourcing using a basic webcam and budget office lighting, the poor resolution completely destroys the perceived value of their culinary art. Voxel Microvideo Labs offers a physical solution to this problem. They operate on a time-in-the-room model. Their Velocity Starter Package charges a flat rate of $30 for a 50-minute session in a fully equipped space. The space uses a pre-lit, multi-camera PTZ setup. PTZ stands for Pan, Tilt, Zoom, referring to robotic cameras that can be controlled remotely. This system captures cinematic, Food Network-level close-ups of the dish alongside the human conversation, entirely without a dedicated camera operator in the room. By paying a flat rate for physical studio access rather than a per-pixel generation fee, premium brands prove their exact quality without taking on the crushing financial overhead of a traditional film crew. For any local business owner, the most critical constraint is time. They simply do not have the hours in the week to learn complex video editing software or manage the logistics of a weekly production shoot. This chart outlines the economic advantage of a batching workflow inside a permanently dialed-in, sound-treated environment. A founder can walk into the studio at 1 p.m., record 4 separate 50-minute episodes back-to-back, and leave by 5 p.m. Because you pay a flat access rate just to be in the room, the cost of the 49th minute of recording drops to zero. This structure heavily rewards deep dive conversations and produces pristine, dual-angle output immediately. Contrast this efficiency with a home office setup. An echoey room, an air conditioner hum, or a barking dog will force you to hire an audio engineer at expensive hourly rates just to repair the bad source files. Time-poor founders achieve a massive return on their investment by trading one intense afternoon of physical recording for a full month's worth of flawless, zero-edit content. We also have the heritage local. Think of West Harbor tenants like Tacos Al Franc or Lozio Pizza. These are authentic, culturally rooted family businesses that rely entirely on their legacy and their direct connection to the community. Using synthetic AI avatars is incredibly dangerous for these specific brands. An avatar strips away the natural pauses, the occasional stumbles, and the passionate imperfections that signal genuine human trust to a local customer. This diagram illustrates the human-then-AI hybrid model. This is the ultimate brand-safe workflow for legacy organizations. First, founders record their pro-casual content in their native language inside a physical studio. This protects their baseline authenticity and secures local community trust. Then, that primary file scales out globally. Back-end artificial intelligence tools like 11 Labs or DeepBrain process that pristine physical audio. They translate, perfectly lip-sync, and dub the original video to reach international audiences in over 150 different languages. This hybrid approach completely protects the heritage brand from the uncanny valley effect, that creepy feeling viewers get when an avatar looks almost but not quite human. At the same time, it unlocks the massive revenue growth potential of localized, multi-language content. Finally, we evaluate the scaling group. Mike Hess Brewing is bringing a 36,000 square foot footprint and a sprawling 20,000 square foot beer garden to the Waterfront. High-footprint, community-driven businesses require physical space to capture their scale. They need the physical room to host dynamic, multi-person panels, showcase musical guests, or run live brewmaster roundtables. Voxel's Global Leader Suite accommodates this exact spatial demand. It offers 400 square feet of sound-treated space equipped with a 4-camera cinematic array to capture large groups perfectly. While this top-tier suite costs slightly more at $140 per session, it bypasses the impossible spatial limitations of trying to cram a 4-person panel into a DIY office setup. Physical square footage is a critical production asset. It is a strict requirement for capturing group dynamics, and it simply cannot be replicated by generative software or a single desk-mounted webcam. This decision tree starts with one central question. What is your primary content goal? For frictionless data, route to AI generation. For a polished brand anthem, route to a traditional studio. But for a weekly trust-building podcast, route directly to a physical micro-video lab. The smartest marketing play for a founder is not choosing a strict side between physical reality or digital synthesis. The advantage lies in sequencing these tools intelligently based on the specific asset required. The internet is about to experience a devastating flood of perfectly polished, mass-produced synthetic media. Digital perfection is becoming cheap and infinite. Because of this, the raw act of a human actually showing up physically on camera becomes a highly valued luxury good. Human consciousness, the slight pauses, the unscripted passion, the real-world chemistry between two people is a premium feature that software cannot yet cross. For the founders preparing to launch at West Harbor, stepping into a physical studio to speak their truth is an economic strategy. Authenticity is the ultimate, untouchable competitive moat.